St. Lucia enters a new era of harsh conservatism as Honorable Shawn Edward, the Minister for Education, announced the ongoing revamp of the island school grooming policy, dictating the manner of hair and styling that is allowed for a student. According to Minister Edward, all stakeholders and contemporary occurrences are being taken into account, which adds to the wait time of the policy's implementation. Above all, the Ministry of Education seeks to take in all points of views and opinions.
The grooming policy is something that we've been working on for some time. We had made considerable strides in terms of finalizing the document, but you would remember there was a court case involving a parent at St. Mary's College, and that had implications for the final document. So we're working with the Attorney General, and what you must take into consideration is that there are legal implications for what we do. So quite apart from having a legal officer in-house at the Ministry of Education to peruse the final document, we are also in conversation with the Attorney General's chambers, which is really the foremost legal entity in government, to advise on the way forward. But soon from today, we will have a policy that we can share with the public, and I'm hoping that there will be buy-in into that policy. Left for us at the Ministry of Education is very easy, and it can also be very convenient for us to sit in our respective offices on the waterfront and just put pen to paper and say, here's the policy document that everybody must adhere to. But that's not how we do it. We encourage consultation and participation from our stakeholders.
Additionally, Minister Edward states that St. Lucia's parents are the utmost authority and the ones responsible for their children's attire, regardless of grooming policies in place.
We, as government, would postulate and put forward parents have a responsibility. Every parent should take responsibility for the manner in which his or her child leaves home for school, and should not leave it up to the state to have a document or guidelines to inform how students ought to carry themselves, how they ought to dress, and the general deportment. So we want to appeal to parents. We will use as much moral suasion as we can before we can have a policy document that, if violated, we can resort to punitive measures. This is always the last resort for me as Minister for Education. We have to begin to appeal to the psyche of our children. We have to begin to have a conversation with children and to show them that, look, things can be done in a particular way for their own well-being and for the well-being of our country, instead of having to just drop the guillotine on them and say, well, look, if you do not conform to this rule, this is the punishment.
The introduction of this new grooming policy will serve as a signal to the island's youth, as the Minister for Education believes that youth should be allowed to responsibly express themselves and not be stifled with punishments. For Choice News Now, this is Obi Offer reporting.